for you all, because all the right questions will be answered after yesterday Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi set a tone and agenda and gave a big task to this community, that how India should become a global hub for creator economy, how it should replace Hollywood, not a small ambition. He spoke about scope and size and everything. It will be very interesting to know from Gaurav and his team and the filmmakers how to get there, and the kind of work they have done is exactly that. They are showing you India and they are telling you stories of India in a different language, in a different way, rooted in Bharat actually, and rooted in common man. That is the whole beauty of working with Prime Video and the other colleagues, that they have shown a formula. Don't call it formula, but it is most interesting playbook we must decode. First question to you, Gaurav. You started and there were challenges and trying to understand how to navigate this Indian market, but now you have developed a playbook. Best thing would be that you only explain to us, how did you do it?
Thank you, Sanjay ji. First of all, I want to thank the Honorable Prime Minister and Ministry of Information Broadcasting for organizing Waves, which is a testament to how important our creative ecosystem is and how important the sector is to India, and Waves is a testament to that. So thank you, and thank you, Sanjay ji, for having us here. I think our journey in Prime Video in India is about a little over 8 years here. Has been amazing for us, great learning and lots of love from customers. When we started here, we realized that, and always everybody says that, to really make an impact in India, you have to really think local. And as a market and as a country, we are so diverse that there is no one local. So they have to think about local in multiple ways: local languages, local milieu, local cultures, local taste. So we first started with saying, what are the gaps today? Or two gaps सामने आए. First gap was कि there were no cinematic, high quality cinematic value storytelling in India, which was there internationally, because there was no premium pay television here. Our television was always basic pay and linear channels in a particular way. So we were thinking about the fact that how do we create those stories here has not been done. Our filmmakers used to make amazing movies, but we had not done shows of that nature. So that was one area. Second, we realized that there's a gap even in the movies. The fact is, India makes so many films, but we had limited number of screens, theatrical screens. So movies could not reach everyone. The third opportunity and gap we saw was the fact that everybody was locked into their language. So, and because structure of our industry was that कि आपके pay TV channels होंगे तो उनके packs होंगे, वही pack दे पाएंगे आप उसी language के. आपके theaters कम हैं तो इस area में आपकी फिल्में सिर्फ इस language की चलेंगी. तो keeping these three things in mind, we basically said, we should program across multiple languages and go not one by one. Let's go across the board and see what we can do there. We say, how do we make these high quality stories? We work with some amazing creators. Many of them are sitting here, and we thank them for that. And the third thing we did was the fact that what is now widely known as Pan India, we said we should create that in ways where we intentionally try to say, how do we expand the linguistic palette of India? How can we make our customers sample, watch, love language content across multiple languages? So 60% of our customers actually in India watch across 4 languages today. So वो intentionality के साथ we went into this. Of course, we have other things to play. We offer movie rentals and so on. But I think we built on that after the initial love that we got. And before I pass it on to others, I think stories की बात करी आपने. Very early we realized कि stories here, when you have to crack those high quality cinematic value stories in India, you can't just say कि I want to make genres. You have to say, what are the big themes? What are the big ideas? The rooted stories you talked about. So we looked at few broad big themes, and over time we evolved them and said, how do we bring those themes and genres together to get these stories out? And Nikhil can obviously add more color to this, as he and his team do an amazing job. But those are the initial things that we worked on, and we are very humbled that, you know, we've got so much love for our shows and movies, and yeah, it's only, you know, as we say in Amazon, it's only day one.
Very interesting. So इसको एक अगर मास्टर क्लास समझना हो, क्योंकि हम लोग जितने लोग बैठे हैं हिंदुस्तान में, हर आदमी की इच्छा होती है कि फिल्म बनाना है या फिल्म में कुछ करना है. You are the gentleman who decides what story to pick. How do you do that?
So we actually look for two things, and it's at one level it's quite simple, at another level it's also complicated. We look for fresh, authentic, unique stories which are very true to the soil, which are uniquely Indian. And the second thing is you look for the passion in the creators, you know, and you can see it when you interact with them, how deeply they've thought about the story and the characters, and that passion many times, you know, we get inspired by. So those are two important considerations. But you know, Gaurav referred to it. We early on realized that it's themes which are really important, and the genres are really, you know, I would say the theme is like the soul and the genre is the body, and that combination is what we look for. So let me make it a little more lucid for people here. One of the themes that we look for is, you know, in the space of women breaking stereotypes, women focused narratives. And in that space, I want to talk about a show which we've recently launched, which has received a lot of love, called Khauf. It's about, you know, the challenges that young women face when they come to live in a big city. It's also about dealing with past trauma. That's the theme. The genre of the story is horror. It could have been told in another genre as well, but the essence, the theme is around, you know, women facing those challenges and overcoming it. एक और theme है which is courage and valor in Indian stories. So that courage could be on the border in a movie like Shesha. It could be a doctor showing courage under fire in Mumbai Diaries. आपका protagonist family man हो सकता है मनोज बाजपेयी की तरह. He can be a honest cop like Hathiram Chaudhary in Patal Lok. Another theme, for example, is aspirations of Bharat, and we've told those stories in a genre of humor. पंचायत जो इतना पॉपुलर शो है, दुपहिया जो हमारा इस साल का ब्रेकआउट हिट शो है, उसको ह्यूमर के साथ उन कहानियों को बोला गया है, लेकिन उन्हीं कहानियों को ड्रामा के तौर पे भी बोल सकते हैं, जैसे कि एस्पिरेंट्स, वो उसी चीज़ को एक अलग तरीके से पेश करता है. बट ये सब तभी पॉसिबल है, और दी स्टोरीज आर ओनली पॉसिबल व्हेन वी हैव दीज अमेजिंग क्रिएटर्स. देयर आर नो स्टोरीज विदाउट दीज क्रिएटर्स, एंड फॉर अस व्हाट्स रियली, you know, something that we're really proud of is that Prime Video has become the home for the finest storytellers in the country. And they are working again and again with us, which is, you know, something that really inspires me and my team. If you look at what Vikram created with Jubilee, such a wonderful show. Every frame of that show is so beautiful, so amazing, so well told. Nikhil has done 2 wonderful seasons of Mumbai Diaries for us, and now helming Revolutionaries, which is one of our most ambitious shows ever. You know, Patal Lok is a streaming phenomena.
Absolutely.
And I want to just talk about these 2 ladies. It's not just about established creators. We're a platform for new voices. And Shubh and Salona, this was their first production as Bombay Film Cartel and as creators. So really proud of this.
Right. ये जो आपने न्यू फेनोमेना का कहा, ये भी हमको बहुत फैसिनेट करता है कि बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री थी, पुरानी इंडस्ट्री थी, सबने अच्छा काम किया, विथ ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू एवरीवन. बिल्कुल एक नई जनरेशन आई, और वो किसी एस्टेब्लिश्ड घराने से, एस्टेब्लिशमेंट, या जिसके बारे में कहते हैं एक अजीब सा लफ्ज़ बॉलीवुड, वहाँ के ओरिजिनल लोग नहीं थे, ये आउटसाइडर्स थे. उन्होंने कमाल का काम किया. टेक्नोलॉजी और इनोवेशन ने इसको एक तरीके से कहिए कि बिल्कुल अनलॉक कर दिया, और एक डेमोक्रेटाइजेशन आपने देखा. तो सलोना एंड शुभा, नहीं, क्रिएटर इकोनॉमी में भारत के बारे में जब बात करेंगे तो हिंदी की बातचीत सुनने में, समझने में आपको दिक्कत होनी नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि भारत की बात हो रही है. इसीलिए इंग्लिश का जोर देना अब थोड़ा सा हम लोगों को कॉशियस हो जाना चाहिए. फिर भी they are free to reply in whatever language they want. I hope that is okay with all humility. Okay, so I will try to make it simpler for you. Democratization of OTT, because of OTT, democratization has taken place. That is why you have these wonderful filmmakers who have come out of absolutely unconventional background. How this democratization has taken place, that's what I want to understand from these two young filmmakers, Shubha and Salona.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'll try and answer in Hindi and English. I think for Salona and me, when we look at a story, when we read an idea, it's what is that story saying? With Dupaiya, we got the opportunity to tell a comedy, but about a crime-free village, which had issues of race, which had problems of dowry, but all of that was said in an accessible manner, in a tone that masses enjoy. And for Salona and me, we really lucked out that Prime Video was looking for stories like that. They understood the soul of the story. They understood the theme that we wanted to go with. And eventually we got to say it in a manner that was entertaining and wholesome. And I think that's what's got through to the audiences eventually. तो हाँ, as नए creators, पिचिंग करना, हासिल करना, ये कल्चर का पार्ट है. बट जब प्राइम वीडियो जैसे पार्टनर्स मिलते हैं जो कहानी का सोल समझते हैं, तो फिर आप वो कहानी को बेच नहीं रहे, आप वो कहानी को बस कह रहे हैं और वो समझ रहे हैं.
How prominent this one filter, that is woman gaze, looking things from woman gaze, has become an important factor in choosing stories and going to these people and discussing these things. So would you talk about it?
Sure. So actually, I'll be honest, जब हमने कहानी सोची, we never thought of female gaze, male gaze. ये सच है. हमारे जो co-creators और writers हैं, they are two males. They have written very lovely female characters in Dupaiya. हाँ, ये हो गया बिकॉज आई थिंक एक सॉफ्टनेस जो आ जाती है कभी कभी, वी वुड आस्क देम क्वेश्चंस के ये जो लड़की है ये ऐसी क्यों है, व्हाई कांट शी बी लाइक दिस. एंड ऑल्सो बोथ शुभ एंड आई कम फ्रॉम अ सिटी, हम यहाँ पे रहे हैं, वी लिव्ड इन बॉम्बे. बोथ आर राइटर्स लिव्ड इन वेरी डिफरेंट प्लेसेस, एक गोरखपुर से हैं, एक अलवर से हैं. सो मोर देन आई वुड से फीमेल गेज, फॉर अस इट वॉज द स्मॉल टाउन एंड द सिटी, कि अगर हम भी एंजॉय कर सकते हैं और आपकी ताई जी जो उधर बैठी हैं वो भी एंजॉय कर लेंगी, देन आई थिंक वी आर होम. सो इट वॉज मोर ऑफ दैट कॉन्वर्सेशन. बट अगर आप जैसे रेणुका जी का कैरेक्टर देखें या रोशनी का कैरेक्टर देखें, वी वर डेफिनेटली ट्राइंग टू, आई वुडंट से कॉन्शियसली, लेकिन हाँ एक था कि अगर एक गांव की लड़की की जो इच्छा है, यस लिटिल बिट मोर, आई डोंट थिंक वी सेड फीमेल को ऐसे, बट होते होते वो हो गया. एंड व्हेन वी वुड हैव कॉन्वर्सेशंस विद Amazon also, it is a, I think it's good that they say, this should be very comfortable for everyone. We shouldn't assume कि ठीक है ना कॉमेडी है तो चल जाएगा. नहीं, you have to be conscious that if there is a girl with dark skin, why are you putting her there? It's not gimmicky. वो एक रीजन के लिए है जहाँ पे एक दूसरी लड़की जब ये देखेगी उसको लगेगा हाँ यार ये तो मेरी कहानी है. So we did that. We did it as naturally as we could.
Right. Let me go to Vikram. Just comprehend this for us, the kind of changes we are seeing in terms of storytelling from big screen to small screen to mobile. This journey is very complex for us. Now there are new opportunities. What is the larger trend where India and Indian filmmakers are going, and how this business, this sector is going to evolve? Why I'm asking this? Because generally the government used to look at this sector as one of the soft sector, not as a mainstream sector like auto or telecom or pharma or manufacturing. Now Prime Minister Modi has tried to give in that seriousness to it. From that perspective, I want your thoughts on this. Yeah, it's working. It's working.
So from where we were maybe 10 to 15 years ago, I think there was a one size. You could only make movies for the screen. You couldn't make them for anything other than that. And I think Prime Video and the other streaming services, what has now happened is that there's a freedom from a creative perspective to think beyond just that 2 hours in a movie theater. You can go and sing. You can make a crime series, which is multiple seasons with a character, 10 episodes long. You can do a comedy series. You can do stuff about like what Nikhil and me have done in the past, whether it's something like Jubilee, which is about the film industry. Mumbai Diaries based in a hospital. There's so much freedom now to be able to tell these stories. So I think, number one, from that perspective, we are at a stage where the filmmakers are just discovering the fact that there is this freedom to be able to go out there and do it. I don't think we've reached the place yet where this is blown up in a way where we can be able to take the full advantage, the fullest advantage as yet that we can. I believe that when that time comes, and I think the next stage for us is that the stories for them to work in India, first of all, but also to be able to take these stories now to an international platform, to be able to say this is the next generation of Indian storytelling that's going to come out of this country. We're not there yet. I think it's a matter of time before we do get there. And this diversity of storytelling, of storytelling formats, really helps us in being able to sort of go out there. So it's not, 10, 15 years ago, people would say, oh, Indian stuff is only Bollywood, and that's pretty much it. That stereotype has been broken, and I think over a period of time, it'll continue to break more and more as we see different kinds of shows, different kinds of movies, different kinds of series, different kinds of creators. I think the diversity on here itself alone is so much. Multiply this by all your creators out there, and you've got something really nice there.
True. Nikhil, you are currently working on Freedom Struggle movie, which is based on freedom struggle theme. So the whole idea of telling Indian story, not only to Indians, as he mentioned, but to a global audience. So how to get there?
I don't know, sir. I'm still trying. We are 42 days into the shoot. We still have a long way to go. This answer will possibly be better in next waves. If you invite me, I'll be able to tell you that the answer then. But no, I think there's research, the source material. I think jo source material, whenever you're doing anything to do with period, I think the richer the material is, the more authentic the material is, the more the research that has gone into the material is always a good starting point for us. I think that is very, very. I have done Rocket Boys, I've done Freedom at Midnight, now I'm doing Revolutionaries. Madhok thinks that मेरे पास vintage car है, vintage props है, vintage clothes है, तो यही कर लेगा. So that's why he called. But no, seriously, so I think that it's always the source material. For me, even in Mumbai Diaries, it was about the source material. It was where we are starting from. How much research can we do? Kitna authenticity kar sakte? Do we need to keep it authentic? In the case of Revolutionaries, it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun. Usually, I think the first thing we decided is let's make history sexy. Let's make it fun and let's make it, because otherwise, if you're going to start giving a history lesson, the audience is just going to put off the nahi dekhna hai yaar, nahi sunna hai, hum log वैसे भी नहीं करना, so and I think what has been a wonderful thing as far as the collaborations with Prime Video and other streaming is that who's watching. The data that people and a lot of filmmakers will turn around and say that at the end, for you to be, I think for me to be able to be as creative as possible, if I just know who I'm trying to make this for, where it's going to be seen, how they're going to be watching, it helps me to, and I think that there are enough, we are talented enough to try and shift it and turn it and make it into the story that we still want to say, but otherwise what's the point? Why if you're making it and aap ghar pe khud dekh rahe ho, or wow, fantastic shot, what a beautiful shot, kisi ne nahi dekha, and I've had a lot of those things, which is कि मैंने बनाया और किसी ने देखा नहीं. तो I just feel that it's always the source material. It's always where you start from, and you just keep moving and we get more research. Wonderful thing is the internet. Wonderful thing is right now that you can just keep asking questions and keep sending. My research team is brilliant. So they challenge. the show is based on Sanjeev Sanyal's book, and my research team at one point started telling him, "Sir, आपको ऐसा लिखना चाहिए."